Hello everybody, this is Louis from LoukProp, and today we are back with another real reviews. This time it's a highly anticipated project called AMO Residences by UOL Group. Now this project is at Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1. Preview has already started at the time of this recording, and the launch will be roughly around 23rd of July if I'm not wrong. So without further ado, let's get to it. Now as usual, we'll be reviewing based on these 5 factors: location and connectivity, development quality and facilities, competitive pricing, rental yield, and also stack selection. So let's get to the first point, location and connectivity. So let's first take a look at where AMO Residence is. It's currently here, right? Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1 is here. And the nearest MRTs that you'll find next to it are Mayflower MRT, this is the Thomson East Coast Line, as well as Bright Hill MRT, which is along the Thomson East Coast Line as well. I would think that the closest one is definitely Mayflower MRT, a few minutes walk away. And if we are talking about the location itself and the amenities that you have around here, you have, let me zoom in a little bit, you have Sembawang Hills Food Centre here. There's a variety actually. There's the Kebun Baru Food Centre and Market here. You also have the Mayflower Market and Food Centre up here. Alright. Now if you're talking about malls, the nearest mall would be Thomson Plaza. From Mayflower MRT, it's 2 stops down to Thomson Plaza here. Or if you are driving, the nearest malls would be Ang Mo Kio Hub here, and also Bishan Junction 8 at the bottom here. Okay, so you do have malls, but they are of course a drive away or 2 stops away. Now if you're talking about primary schools within 1 kilometer, there's of course CHIJ St. Nick's and also Ai Tong, which is one of the more popular schools in the region. Alright, and for recreation wise, you are really very close. In fact, you're just minutes walk to Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park at the bottom here, and also Lower Pierce Reservoir Park at the side. If you're an avid golfer, SICC is just a short drive away, it's just here. Alright, and these areas are really perfect for you to bring your families for recreation in the weekends as well. Now if you look at to the left of AMO Residences, this is a landed enclave, which means that you do have an unblocked view all the way to Lower Pierce Reservoir Park. Below, although there's a Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park, but you may not be able to see Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park because there's a HDB cluster here and probably another residential component here in the future. Right? For now, it is slated to be a HDB ground. So if you are buying anything that's southward facing, there are certain stacks that will give you that unblocked view, especially to the left here, but this stack may be blocked by the HDB blocks right in front of it. Now one thing to note, being near to the Thomson East Coast Line also provides you with the convenience towards town and towards the northern side. Now if we were to look at Thomson East Coast Line, right, where we are right now is Mayflower here. So if you want to go to Woodland side, because there's a decentralized CBD over there, you can get there very, very quickly. And also if you want to go down to Orchard area, it's just maybe 8 or 9 stops away. Even to the CBD area is another 12 stops away. So very, very convenient in terms of MRT connectivity. Also, you are just maybe 1 stop to Bright Hill MRT, right? 1 stop away. That will bring you to the Cross Island Line. Now, where's the Cross Island Line? This Cross Island Line will actually bring you for the moment, all right? Once it is being built by 2030, bring you all the way down to the East Coast side, Pasir Ris side, the Loyang side, and it's an interchange to Punggol as well. In the future, they're going to expand this Cross Island Line all the way into the Jurong area as well. So you've got this west to east kind of a Cross Island Line going on. So it's very, very convenient for you in the future. Now in terms of expressway and roads, they are convenient for driving. Upper Thomson Road is just next to it, you can see over here. And also it's a very short drive towards CTE. But in the future, there will be something that will be more exciting, is the North-South Corridor. I spoke about this at length for many of the videos. But this North-South Corridor will be cutting through Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park. So this expressway will be even closer to AMO Residence, which is currently here, right? It will be closer than CTE will be, right? It's a halfway point here. So this North-South Corridor, as I've explained before, is a 21.5 long transit corridor, right? It's a kind of an expressway down, whereby you will have cycling trunk routes, you will have pedestrian routes, you have bus routes. So pretty convenient in the future when it's being built by 2027 or 2028. Which means that in the future, with the new Thomson East Coast Line being built up, traveling to town via MRT will be much faster, 10 to 15 minutes saved. Traveling down to the CBD area via driving or town area via driving will be even faster as well, with the North-South corridor being built up also. So in conclusion, although this area is really good for own stay, you have near to amenities, you have recreational areas surrounding you, you are near to MRT and also the next transit corridor. But other than the North-South corridor, there's really not much of transformational growth that we can talk about in that area. So for location, I'll give it a modest 3.5/5. Now next we'll talk about development quality and facilities. Now AMO Residence is a 372 units development by a joint venture with UOL Group, Kheng Leong and SingLand as well. So this is a 3-company joint venture, and we know that all 3 companies are sister companies. Of course, UOL Group doesn't need more introduction. It's a very quality developer that actually gives you quality products. Now if we take a look at their website, they have a ton of projects that they have created, all with good build quality like Clement Canopy, Principal Garden, Amber 45, right? So these developers are really well-seasoned and reputable developers in Singapore. So the thing about UOL Group, right, in particular is that they focus a lot on architecture and landscaping. So they really focus on giving you good quality for these 2 areas. And if you look at the kind of projects that they have been developing recently, all of them have gotten really good Conquest score. Some of them are getting Conquest Star as well. So we can take a look here. So you can see UOL Group here, the latest one that they have done, 70 St. Patrick's, Conquest Star. You have Thomson 3 and Riverbank getting 93. You also have Botanic and Bartley getting Conquest Star, Amber 45 getting Conquest Star, and also in particular, United Venture Development is actually a JV between, again, these 3 companies, Kheng Leong, SingLand and UOL Group. This is the latest that they have done in terms of a joint venture, and it has gotten a Conquest Star as well. If you want to look at the rest, like SingLand, right? SingLand, Alex Residences, Conquest Star. You have Kheng Leong, let's find Kheng Leong, Conquest Star as well, you can see here. Right? So they are really, really good developer that gives you quality products also. Now talking about the facilities, right? Let's take a look at first the site plan. You can see that it's more of a triangular shaped piece of land, and there are really only 2 blocks here. Okay, so any facilities that you need, you definitely have in this project. You have your tennis courts here, you have a 50-meter lap pool here. You also have your function rooms and gyms, which I'll show you a bit later on. But the direction that we are looking at here is majority north-south in direction, right? With a little bit of an angle towards the east and the west. Now, while most projects have 1 main clubhouse, AMO Residence has 2 clubhouses. The first one is here, right at the entrance area. Right, this has your standard gym, is your function rooms, it is fronting the 50-meter lap pool as well. The next one will be at the tennis court here. This one has your grill pavilions, barbecue pits, and it's all along the tennis court as well. Now let's look at the artist impressions here. It has an arrival court, so pretty nice because you don't have your security guard placed just outside the project. It's actually set inside of the development, so it won't cause a jam along the road. A nice arrival court. You also have your pool cabanas along your 50-meter lap pool, right? This will make a good place for you to relax and just read a book after your swimming, you know. Just now when I was talking about the clubhouse, you can see that there's a gym here, there's a pavilion here, and there's also a function room at the side as well. So really nice facilities as you can see here, the dining pavilions, function rooms. So another thing that projects recently are giving are smart home systems. I think that's like more of a given right now. You can actually control all these things right from your phone. So that's something very common that developers are actually providing for buyers as well. And to be honest, all these facilities are what you would expect from a full facility condo. So nothing really very special. I think the special thing is how they would design your landscaping and your architecture to work hand in hand with each other so that it gives you a good experience staying inside the project itself. And this is what UOL Group consistently provides for all their residents, people who buy their projects. So in conclusion, although the facilities are not really super impressive, but you have a full facility condo, and what I'm confident in is that the developers are able to give you good quality projects because of their deep experience and because they have achieved high conquest scores over the years. So the score would be 4 over 5. So next, let's talk about the pricing, right? The competitive pricing. Now, first thing we have to look at is the land sale, okay? As usual, if we take a look at AMO Residence, their land sale, it is at 1822 per square foot for their break-even price. Now, if we were to assume that the developers want to make a 20 to 25% profit margin, it will price them at about 2001 to 2003 per square foot averagely. But as it happens, we have just received the price guide for AMO Residence, and the price guide from the 2-bedders all the way to the 4-bedders, right, is at 1,900 to 2,100 per square feet starting from, right? If they are really going to be selling at this kind of pricing, I think it's really interesting because we now have to do a comparison with their surrounding competitive pricing. So let's start off with having a sort of a location scan here. Now, the good thing about AMO is that within a 500-meter radius, there isn't really much competitors. So for me to do a competitive analysis, I have to go a little bit further out. So looking at a 1.2 kilometer radius around AMO, in the last 12 months, these are your projects that would be a close competitor to AMO Residence. Now, of course, I filtered based on age as well because we want to do an apple-to-apple comparison. And what we find are these 3 condos that are within 10 years of age, all right? Thomson Grand, Panorama, and Thomson Impressions. I'm not going to compare with Adana at Thomson because it is a freehold property. I want to again make it an apple-to-apple comparison. So taking these 3 condos, especially Panorama because it is in the Mo Kuo region, right? We want to look at their prices. So for Panorama, you can see that recent transactions are between 1,006 to about 1,008. Right? You can see the recent transacted prices. For Thomson Impressions, we are looking at between 1,006 to 1,008 as well. It's the same as Panorama. And for Thomson Grand, we have one anomaly here because it's a really big unit. But on average, we are looking at 1,003 to about 1,006 per square foot. Okay? Okay, so where are the locations of these competitors now? Panorama is here. Okay, whereas Thomson Grand is here and Thomson Impressions is here. So these are the closest competitors with a similar age group within 10 years old that we'll be comparing with. So with that being said, the closest competitors that we can find here is between 1,006, I would say averagely 1,006 to about 1,008. And if AMO Residences are really going to be launching from 1,009 for their 3-4-bedders to 2,001 starting from for their 2-bedders, I am expecting the prices to be really between 1,009 to 2,002 per square foot, right? Because there should be a range of per square foot throughout the entire project. And this would mean that we are looking at a 300 to 500 per square feet difference in price from its nearest competitors. Now, taking note that the ages between the older condos here that we are talking about, right, versus AMO, we are looking at an 8 to 10 years of age difference. So based on recent transactions in the market for new launches versus their resale counterparts, a 300 to 500 per square foot difference premium looks to be the market standard nowadays. I'm no way saying that this is a good price to go in, but I think that a 300 to 500 per square foot difference in price for 8 years to 10 years difference in age seems pretty fair. But do take note as well, today if you're looking at AMO Residence, once you buy into a project here, you are setting the record price in the entire area. So this might be something that would affect your capital gain potential in the future. Now on the plus side, launching at 1,009 to about 2,001 per square foot would mean that the developers are only looking at roughly a 10 to 15% profit margin, which based on recent standards are quite low. And this is good because it would mean that the developers in the future will not anyhow drop their prices because they're not selling well or whatsoever. So you can rest assured that you're buying at a bottom price during launch. But another thing that we have to understand is that if AMO launch is going to be popular, based on recent examples like Piccadilly Grand or Live at MB, the developer might very well increase price on the day of launch itself So this price score that we are giving today is really based on a launch between 2009 to 2002 per square foot. So another thing that might be an advantage for AMO Residence in the future is this piece of land, right? It's a yellow land. It's slated as a reserve land, so we don't know what they're going to do with it yet. It's still to be decided. But if they're going to be redeveloping this land into like a residential, commercial space, right? Or if it's just residential, this piece of land will definitely be sold at a higher price than what was bought for AMO Residence. So this might be a good news for AMO Residence in the future, but I wouldn't count on it because it is very much in the air. We don't know what they're going to do with this at the moment. So in conclusion, although there has been a pent-up demand for a new launch in the Mo Kuo region, but I do see this as a longer-term investment if you want to make any capital gain in the future, right? Because of the competitors around it and how much cheaper they are. So if AMO does launch at between 2009 to 2002 per square foot, my score for it will be 3/5. So now let's take a look at rental yield. Now, AMO Residence starts from a 2-bedder onwards, so we'll be looking at the 2-bedders for this analysis. We'll also be using Thomson Impressions and Panorama rental transactions for this. And if we take a look at their rental transactions, in the last 1 year, Thomson Impressions has done 85 rental volume and Panorama has done 142. That represents a 22 to 32% of the entire project that's rented out on a per year basis. So that's pretty healthy. In terms of the rental pricing, we'll take a look at the 2-bedders here. For Thomson Impressions, we are looking at from 2005 to about 3007, even the latest one, right? 3007 per month. For Panorama, we are looking at 2005 to 3002 in terms of its monthly rental. So if we are looking at 2005 to 3007 per month in terms of rental for a 2-bedder, based on the pricing of the 2-bedders in AMO Residences, we are looking at between 2.4 to 3.1% in terms of rental yield. That's not bad, but not the best as well. So in terms of score, for rental yield, we'll be looking at 3/5. Now we will look at the stack selection of AMO Residences. As usual, we'll be reviewing stack selection based on these factors. Okay, and based on AMO Residences, right, we are looking more of the northern facing are all unblock facing, unblock landed facing, and the southern side will be looking at into a newly built 30-story HDB and possibly another one that's building next to it as well that would obstruct the view, right? That's some of the considerations that we are thinking about. So these are your ideal stacks, your average stacks, and your not so ideal stacks. So the score for stack selection is 3.5/5. So after gathering all the various factors and their scores, the overall score for AMO Residence is 3.4/5, which is not a bad score. So as mentioned earlier on, preview starts now from the date of this recording and the launch is actually on the 23rd of July. So if you are curious about what kind of units you should be going for, how we do the stack selection and what fulfills your own needs and objectives, please give us a call, drop us a DM and we'll contact you immediately to customize a kind of selection for the units that you should be looking at AMO Residence. So if you like the video, please go and like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel. And also let us know what other projects you want us to review down in the comment section below. This is Louis from LoukProp and I'll see you in the next video review. Bye!